Welcome. r/IDontWorkHereLady. Some assembly required. Good luck. On mobile, so apologies for any formatting issues. First post as well. This happened several years ago. I was the nighttime charge nurse over the ICU. I'd just finished a 12-hour shift at my hospital that had turned into a 14-hour shift because of a rapid response right before shift change. Patient responded well. I was exhausted and had to return for a fourth shift in 9 hours. All I wanted were some items to drop in the slow cooker so I'd have something to eat. When I got up tonight, I stopped at a well-known big box store that sells groceries, clothes, electronics, the works. I'm wearing royal blue scrubs, a name badge with a big RN under it, and forgot to take my stethoscope off, so it's hanging around my neck. The employees here, well, don't. As I'm walking towards the store, I see an elderly couple struggling to load a large box in their SUV parked at the front of the store. And I mean old 90+ shaky hands. Teetering around with limited mobility. The kind I see with a med list 3 pages long. No way would his hips take the weight without snapping, and I've worked enough tonight. I approach quickly and address the female half of the couple offering help. It was gladly accepted, and I got their TV loaded with very little difficulty. It was more cumbersome than heavy. I'm chatting with a woman who is explaining it's a gift for their son and her husband hadn't wanted to wait for help. I'd wondered why an employee wasn't helping. That's when it happened. I will be RN. She will be Eb for entitled bitch. Eb, hey. Startled, we stop our conversation and look over. It's a lady in her 50s dressed in a cheap looking beige pantsuit with a get your manager hairstyle, standing about 15 feet away with a hand on her overly broad hip. Eb, if you are about done, I need help over here. She then points to her cart with 2 boxes of bookshelves, some assembly required. I realize she thinks I work here. RN, oh sorry, I don't work. Eb, you are already making me late. Just get it done. And don't scratch my paint up. The elderly lady and I exchange looks of disbelief and I try again. RN, I don't work here. Eb, just get it done. She then steps away from her cart to grab her purse, grumbling about idiots, and is digging for her keys when the cart rolls further away and one wheel goes off the curb. The entire uneven load causes the cart to topple over. I instinctively jump forward to try to prevent everything from falling. I was unsuccessful. Eb, who has now turned to see her particle board bookshelves spilled out on the cement. Corners of the boxes crushed and one has torn open with a few pieces, and packaging now exposed. Eb completely loses her shit and becomes a raging THUNDERC*NT. Eb, what the? You fucking moron. Pick them up. God damn it. I'm going to have you fired. You owe me new bookshelves. And I'm late. At this point, I'm done. RN, pick them up yourself. I don't work here. I then turn to go inside when I feel her grab my sleeve and try to yank me around. I jerk my sleeve out of grip and turn to face her now violently red face. She opens her mouth to start screaming again, but I put my finger in her face and say, RN, no, don't touch me. Shut the hell up. I do not work here, and even if I did, I'd quit before I help you clean up your shit. Eb stands there speechless, mouth opening and closing, sputtering in shock that I've dared raise my voice at her. That's when the manager and an employee come out. As Eb sees the manager and finds her voice. Eb, are you the manager? This man damaged my bookshelves and is refusing to pay for them. I just stare in shock. Seriously? Having realized that a man in bright blue scrubs with a stethoscope and a big RN badge really doesn't work here. Instead of apologizing, she chooses to double down on the craziness and now accuses me of breaking her stuff. Before I can voice my denial, the elderly gentleman I'd helped earlier steps in and explains the situation to the manager. Eb is still voicing complaints, but the manager realizes the real situation and apologizes to me and the couple. I'm still standing by watching angrily as the manager deals with Eb and inspects the bookshelves. They are not damaged. He offers her 2 new boxes, but Eb is now done with the whole situation. She says no. She's already too late because of me. Just glares over at me and says to the manager, "Eb, just load them. I'm already late enough because of this." The manager and employee then lift the boxes up and get them wedged into the lady's car. As I shake my head and go to enter the store, I'm stopped by the elderly lady I'd helped earlier. "Lady, sir, thank you so much for helping us with the TV. I'm so sorry some people are so rude." She then reaches for my hand to shake. As she folds both her fragile hands around mine, I can feel something in her palm she's giving me. Lady whispering, "Don't look yet. Wait till she leaves." I slide the package into my scrub pocket and lady walks away. Eb then gets in her car and, without apologizing or thanking anyone, peels out and drives away. I finally enter the store to grab my food items, and when I reach in my pocket I pull out a plastic bag with a bunch of screws and hardware. I realize immediately that the sweet little old lady took advantage of the commotion to steal the hardware out of Eb's ripped box. I couldn't believe it. I had the biggest grin on my face as I did my shopping, and I have a new petty revenge hero to idolize. Edit. Thank you for the golden front page. Had no idea. Little overwhelmed. Gone from 12 karma to still counting. Thank you all. Grannies are just old enough to not give any fucks. My grandmother, at 83, stole an entire candy dish from a woman's desk once, including the dish itself, because they made her walk every day. She was recovering from a broken ankle and was on drive's orders to rest it, and was staying at a treatment facility normally frequented for sports injuries. I'll never forget how her eyes twinkled as a dozen Tootsie Rolls, Laffy Taffys, peppermints and Dum Dum Pops kept falling out of her Mew Mew. I actually still have the dish. Edit. Words work a certain way and don't like being shoved in with other words. This reminds me of a guy who helped me out a year ago. It wasn't a IDWH situation, just a guy followed me out of my train and went to attack me. Two guys saw this happening and jumped to help me. In the scramble I found a phone and asked the guys helping if it was his. After the first declined, the second guy said it was his. Once the man who jumped me was subdued and we were leaving, the guy with the phone divulged that the phone wasn't his. It belonged to the attacker and he tossed it onto the train tracks. Petty level 100%. Bless these petty idols. Who the hellies, like I have to be somewhere important in my khaki suit, but I need to stop at the store and buy 2 bookcases first. That reminds me of the people who go out to a restaurant on a busy Friday night, and when they sit down after a 45-minute wait there, like we have a movie that starts in 15 minutes, can you hurry up? I hate egocentric jerk-offs. I like to think they don't exist this horribly, and then I hear things like this actually happening in the world. Yeah, gonna call bullshit on this as well. I work specifically in retail dealing with furniture, including building them and loading them for customers. All boxed shelves, even the cheap mainstay brands, have a 1-inch foam padding that goes around the inside layer of the box to specifically keep the press board from dinging. If the box is dropped, we throw those boxes around a lot. If the box was dropped, there's no way the cardboard would expose the corners of the box, as this is the part of the box that is enforced the most heavily with cardboard and foam. It's a pain in the ass to open with a box cutter as well. I actually had to open one completely up to use an area to slide a bookshelf off of a loading dock today because the box wouldn't fit in her car. Not only that, but almost all companies will include the screws and bolts in a small baggie, but that baggie is attached to a string inside the box that is taped to the item or to the box specifically, so those bags don't slide out. If they are not attached to a string, it's because they come inside of a large cardboard/plastic case instead and don't need one. The blister packs for them are enormous. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.